To the secret history. It's a sunny day for the first time in a while. Well, kind of. We've got a break of sun. And I'm on the using wireless right now, so the graphics should get better shortly. But I wanted to show you guys my sticklebacks that are active and doing their thing right now, because they've been pretty entertaining lately. So alright, so if we approach the tub carefully... Oh no, it's not going to make me rotate it this way, is it? Let's see. Are you kidding me? Oh, it's going to get me stuck in this mode. Sorry guys, we might be in profile mode. Alright, can you see the sticklebacks? They're going to be darting all over. But there's a bunch of them in here. And that's really good news, because I wasn't sure that they would hatch and spawn. Yeah, my auto rotate is stuck again. And the weird part is that it just let me start out with it, and now it's stuck again. It's driving me insane. Let's see. Nope. When I rotate device, it just blocks me off the internet, really. So yeah. But what I was gonna try to do is show you guys the sticklebacks are in spawn mode, which is kind of exciting. So let me try to get I dropped the little thing that I actually used to grab them. I dropped in the tub like a dum-dum. Where is it? Thought I felt it a second ago. Oh boy, this water is ice cold. I don't know how they're active in here. Holy smokes, it's cold. Okay, here it is. Here's my thing that fell in last night when I was checking them out. Woohoo! Member for 8 months. What a stud. What an absolute stud. Oh man, this smells awful. This water smells awful. I don't know why they like this. I'm almost worried that there's like ammonia or something, but I know for a fact that sticklebacks, they turn over dead the second the ammonia hits like 0.25. So I know that's not the case, but here we go. So here's a stickleback. These are 3 spines in the 50-gallon tank that I have sitting over there, because they're fascinating to watch when they spawn. The males size up a female. Let me try to find you guys a female. I've got like 40 in here. The other day I started catching them with a big old net, and it's amazing how good they are at avoiding getting caught, because there are a ton in this Tupperware, and I was shocked because I left like 4 in here on accident, and they must have spawned when the first frost hit. Like after that, they must have spawned in like January ahead of everything. So let's try to get something. This is not the best scooper for actually catching fish. It's good for getting stuff out of the tank and for getting botanicals and things out or immersing them. So is this a female? No, this is another male. Right now. Here we go. Here's a female. So see her boxy body? She's putting on her spawning weight, which is great to know that they're in the tub and they're putting on spawning weight. But they have like a rectangular shape. In fact, she might even have... Was that an egg that I saw on her belly? She might be in the middle of something. But anyways, so she is all boxed out for spawning. And these sticklebacks came from that pond that's been kind of rehabbed. And it's only 50 degrees today. So it's kind of amazing that they're so lively and active even when it's that cold out. But there are new sticklebacks, other than the ones that size. There's some that are like yay big in here that you can't even catch. And I'm debating what I want to put over in these tanks this year. I'm thinking the white cloud minnows that I got that are golden. They're pretty cool. We're gonna hop inside, and I'm gonna wash my hand because and it's raining. Look at this. It's sunny and it's raining. Gotta love that. All right. So I have a secret unboxing, you guys. Mr. Postman. Mr. Postman. Showed up when he did. So hold on one sec. Let me set you guys down while I wash my hand. Alright. Man, it's going to get me stuck in this mode again. I can't stand it. So annoying. What's going on? Nathan Hovey, Michelle, Sage, 3G, Mark Sterlson. What's up? Let's see. A YouTuber. Nathan Hovey. Jeff, what's up? Poetic Song. Welcome. Good to have you back. It's been a while, yeah. Mountain Greenery, what's up? So, let's go take a look real quick with my high-tech laser and see how hot it is outside. See what's going down in Funky Town out here. All right. So, in their tank, it's 55 degrees. That's about as hot as it's gotten today. Yeah, this has had sun shining on it, and it's 59, 60. So the tubs are nice and cold today. Yeah, 52 in the other ones. So I am really, really dumbfounded by the fact that they're spawning. Also, I collected magnolia leaves that are making a tannic giant stew for my project in the other room, and I'm hoping to get a bunch of fish in Florida and have a 40-gallon breeder set up for them with leaves at the bottom. But also check out this magnolia tree. Look at how beautiful this is. When the pods come off and everything, that all falls right into those tubs, and it smells incredible out here. So it's like the plants know that it should be spring and maybe even summer, but nothing else does. But that tree is like 100 years old. It's been here longer than this house. It was here when the farmer who originally portioned the land up into a few lots got here. All right, let me grab the tripod so that I don't make everybody motion sick all show. But I also wanted to just show you guys, in case you were here for the live stream the other night, the angelfish are still guarding their eggs. I've left the light on for 72 hours for them, which, yeah, that's not great for algae when you've got a real strong light and you just leave it on. But they're going to be, I mean, they're loving it. I don't know why, but they love to spawn when the algae gets thick. I mean, all I can think of is that it triggers them, telling them, look, our babies can hide in this. But holy cow. I mean, you guys probably saw me clean this up if you were on the live stream late night the other night when we did a stream. And it was like, Monster from the Black Lagoon or whatever style. And, I mean, look at that, all that algae. Northern pike and yellow perch spawn when the water temp hits 45. Yeah, that I could see that for sure. Anyways, so they've still got eggs. They've got a few that have fungi in them that have some sort of rot. One, two, and Dad's taking good care of them. He's kind of on point, and Mom kind of wanders a bit. But since I've left the light on so that the snails won't get their eggs, because if they see snails in the day, they'll spot them and they'll chase them away. If they don't, like they're gonna. Well, I'll do it just because it makes me nervous that they're that close. But they get rid of the snails themselves, usually. And but I leave the light on 86 hours or something like that. I leave the light on, but holy cow, did it do a number on my tank this time. I think it's just there's so much growth right by the top and so much nutrients in here right now because of the angels and the algae eaters that are all big fish. Um, and all the little tetras, I suppose. That and this light just has one setting, which is the sun. Um, but so that tank's going good, and we'll see how the babies do. Here, we were looking at this tank last time, but there are a whole bunch of blue shrimp, if you guys haven't checked in with this tank in a while. Also, if anybody knows the name of this rotala here, hit me up with that, please. We got it at Aquarium Zen. Someone brought it in, and they brought it back from, I want to say Sri Lanka is what I was told. And it's a new one, but it looks so strange, and I was like, are you sure that's a rotala? And they were adamant at the store. So, I don't know. And they had it on from good authority, you know, the person who brought it in or whatnot. But, yeah, so that's all going good, and yeah, Mick, what's up? How are you doing? Freaky Fish Lady, hello. Good to see you. And also ABC Biotopes, what's up, man? Um, but what else was I gonna say? Oh, everything growing immersed in my fish room. So there's a big plant sale coming up in a week and a half. And so I want to cut all these persicarias. These are the Caligetum and the Sao Paulo varieties here. They're a little different between the two. And then over here we've got purple bamboo. And look at how crazy this color is when it's under bright light. Like if it's out in real sunlight, the leaves start to turn actually purple and like fuchsia. But they stay like this if it's in the shade. And then the stems are purple. But yeah, that's all from the one piece I brought back from the oh, this is interesting. So it started to grow two shoots. It started to grow another shoot when this one fell over into the current. It's got a weird shoot growing from it at a different angle. I'll put it back where it was, see what happens. Its roots are right down there, and we'll just tuck it back in. But what I was going to say is, oh, there goes the signal thing, which is cool. And there's more in here. It's just covered in algae. So when I clean the algae off later tonight, I'm going to leave some because clearly the angelfish like it. They want it. They love it. But yeah. Now, the other night, these fish were really active, and now they're nowhere to be found, of course. But let's see if we can kind of coax them to the center a bit. Oh, here comes one. We'll see. But these in here we've got the smallest rasboras that there are. And I mean some people would argue Danionellas might be kind of a rasbora-ish thing. But here they are. These 3-dot yellow dot, 3-dot micro rasboras. And we'll try to see if we can get a good shot of them. Now, this tank is either lacking something nutritionally, or the shrimp and snails have just gotten to the point where there's not always food and they're grazing. Oh, the plant I mentioned, Mick, right here. This plant. And that's another one that it's not, I mean, it's so dense and it alternates every other leaf comes out from the other side. It's a very strange plant. I mean, it almost looks like a little fern for size. I mean, it's very small. But we were told it is a rotala from a guy who's a botanist. Also, the smallest pencilfish in the world, they're in here too, the dwarf pencilfish. And it's not focusing. There it is. So we've got the smallest pencilfish and the smallest rasboras in here. And they're just hiding in the plants, doing their thing. And this is a non-heated tank, which is interesting because it's non-heated not by choice, but by default. I just realized the heater wasn't working the other day. And I felt it, and I was like, man, that feels a little cold. And it turned out that, yeah, no, it wasn't working at all. So, ta-da! Apparently, they've been like that for who knows how long. So, because you guys joined me at a surprise time... Oh, I better not show all that info. And the postman just showed up. You guys get to see the project I'm going to be working on. So, I don't know if you guys like my Potter or Porter or P0TO or P0T0R. Welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Alex, I pulled something similar out of a local lake. Only been able to grow a few root nodes. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I wonder, because it reminds me of like some of the hydrillas and stuff. It kind of does look like that. Everything guy, what's up? Welcome. So, yes. Wait, do I have some? Yeah, I've got some killifish I can show you, but hold on. So, from Aquatic Arts, because I was complaining that they didn't have enough fish. And they have had a lot more fish lately. Gearing up for pond season and summer and all that. That, and I really like the info. They made infographics. So I helped work with some of this stuff with my graphic design background. Like, we came up with the concepts for the like acclimation cards and all that kind of stuff, which was kind of fun. But they also have Marimo moss balls back, and no one else has real ones yet other than them, because the actual feds, and this is a sticker, I don't know where the heck I'm going to put that necessarily, but the feds have said unless you do it this exact way, you can't have them. Oh, heat pack's still toasty. Interesting. Okay. I forgot that they were going to send me anything. So, wow, it's still 73 degrees in here. And this is outside for a minute. Rotala tuladensis. Okay. I'll look that one up. Thank you. I really... Tulunadensis. So, they sent me some of their moss balls, which they haven't told me the secret, but they've got a system, and clearly it's working. These are much denser than past moss balls, I remember. These are like thick. They're like felt. But I remember my shrimp loved those things. The thing is, the algae, I'd always rip apart the moss balls and get the algae everywhere and then grow it on stuff. And for a while, like for a few years, I loved that. And then after a while, I was like, oh, it grows on everything when you do that. So don't break them up unless you really want them to grow on everything. Gardaki, hello, welcome. So what they sent me was every tannin they have. And that's because I'm going to do a test for them. And basically, you guys have probably seen my long form videos. And I've been using Aquatic Arts stuff for my baseline. But they got me some cinnamon leaves. All this stuff's on their website. If you want to use the link Fishery15, you can get 15% off. Or Fishery10. And then also we'll be doing giveaways again too. Sorry for the giveaway, folks, from last week. We're still waiting on that. I'm still waiting on my payment and everything, so something's a little behind with their system. But yeah, that's a great point, Yeti. You glued the B grade moss balls onto your cave for decoration. Yeah, that is really cool. So yeah, then they've got medium catappa leaves. I mean, some people would call those large. I'd say medium's fair assessment. They've got jackfruit leaves, which I've already done specials on and research on. Same with the catappas. I haven't really worked with the cinnamon yet, but there's a lot of medicinal research being done on this. And in Europe and Canada, I know a lot of products are using cinnamon, eucalyptus, things like that to actually treat fish ailments because they're not allowed to sell antibiotics as much anymore. And there is a new law coming down the pipeline that they can't use antibiotics anymore for fish. I think erythromycin will be okay and penicillin, but I believe the sulfa-based drugs are not going to be okay, nor are I think there's a few different classes of them that are not going to be allowed anymore, which is a super bummer. But I also got mulberry leaves, and they sell these fresh because these make a hell of a mess, but if you're trying to build mulm, they are probably the best thing you can get. Moringa or mulberry leaves, either one of those two. And here, let me show you the moringa. The moringa looks like something you could pass off at a middle school. But these, and then we've got bamboo and palm fronds bundled together. But this time they didn't cut them. This was a request. I said, try selling them whole, just bent over, instead of last time they cut them in half and then tied them in bundles. But I wanted that long look. The other thing that I asked if they'd get back were these. So the coconut stem petals. And this is where the coconut fruit attaches to the tree and then breaks off from the tree. And so it's full of specific nutrients to that one section that they've been doing research on. So I'll probably be doing a video on coconuts and like coconut shells and coconut actual, the wood of it like this. Maybe even the bark per se. And then, then they got banana leaves, which are bundled up. These work as like little spawning mops as is. And the last thing was, like I was saying, you could pass this off at a middle school. Moringa leaves, 1 ounce. That's a big ounce. That's a light, fluffy ounce. So, Aquatic Arts never fails with their delivery of stuff. I mean, it always comes in looking excellent every time I've ever ordered from them. Now, if they have things in stock, that's the piece that's been missing in the puzzle lately. But Vivy.com is the same owners, and VIVVY, they will quite possibly have some of the things from now on. If Aquatic Arts doesn't, go to Vivy.com. It's only $25 shipping. I don't get a cut of it or anything, but just saying. Okay, and then here is the big prize of the day. This is what I ordered. And I'm going to be very frank, they totally gave me this free, this stuff. And so thank you guys. So now I can do more deep dive papers papers. I say that because I write it like a term paper when I'm doing the deep dives. But in here, we've got some apparently very, very hardy tangerine tigers. They're supposed to be an extremely hardy Caradina line. These ones in particular that they've been breeding there. And so I want to kind of do a test, but I got 20 of them from one of their breeder packs. And obviously I got a whole heck of a lot more Yeah, to be frank, oh, Dr. Anthony, Dr. Anthony, you make me smile when the world makes me cry. And sometimes you make me cry when the world's making me smile. But did you see the video I put up today of us collecting down in Florida where you're bossing us all around? You're cracking the whip. Hi, honey. My wife just got home. Okay, so today I said I would do a fish update, and we do have some big updates. Well, maybe not big to anybody here, but big to me. Big to me. Let's turn on the lights. Aziz, light. That, and I'm finally feeling not knocked out from my meds. I mean, if you couldn't tell, I was like, essentially, I haven't felt so drunk in years. And I wasn't drunk. It was just not sleeping and then the medications. But yeah, speaking of cracking the whip, yeah, hi, honey. Exactly. Exactly. You know. Okay, so. All right. So these guys, they're not in a breather bag because I requested them just come like this. Now, right now, there are 6 of the Iliosomas that Doc and Grant and I caught here. And there's 6 of the Iliosomas in there. So I need to move them. They need to move. And there's already some Caradina shrimp that were full grown in there. Now, this is another trial. This is water in Washington. Our water does this if you put no substrate in. This is a nothing tank. There's literally nothing in it, and it looks gross. And I have never gravel vacked it or anything. There's no ammonia. It's filtering by using just this string, and the fact that the fish that are in it are merely 4 of the Iliosoma gilberti, or Everglade maybe. I think these ones are actually Everglade. But they're in there, they're doing their thing, they hide. I'm going to get them better habitat, but I thought they'd be a good test species since they deal with really hard water sometimes and then softer water other times in Florida. But look at all this white water mold. And they're eating it, which they don't eat anything other than bloodworms that I give them. So I'm kind of surprised by that. Also going on, I think finally we have a mouthful of babies. Maybe. If we look at the chin of this one, its mouth is completely... Come back. And it even has, it looks like an egg hanging from its mouth at the moment. Whoa. Yeah, it literally does. It's got 2. It's got another one on its nose. So it's holding... Yay! I was wondering if these things would ever spawn. She's been... I mean, the female and the male, one of each out of the 5 of them, have been showing off like they're going to spawn. See these colors? They're beautiful. But it looks like now the eggs are in mouth and incubating, which I'm pretty stoked on. The eye has also turned deep red. So yeah, these are the ones that I got down in Oregon back at Fishtoberfest. They're in with the Pseudomagil luminatus, which are technically a killifish, I suppose, and the thread fins. And what else is in here? Just more of these guys that I got when they were little teeny babies. And then I've got my Jinga rubra. Man, the glare is bad in here today. Let's turn on some more light so we can get a better assessment of our critters. But yeah, so I have a confession to make, and that is that I have not done a water change on any of these tanks since my first Florida trip. Yeah, that's September. I have only added water and wanted to see how it would go. And it's going good. I would have stopped if it wasn't. So we've got the Empire Gudgeons. They're doing great, doing their thing. They're all over back in here. We've got the Betta Machiensis right here, and look at all that infusoria in their tank. So they're doing good, and I'm guessing, I'm hoping that they're going to spawn soon because of that. Because of all the infusoria. There's one shiner in here with them, one rainbow shiner. And then here we've got the new bettas, which are bizarre. So the lights were just out, so I'm going to cut them some slack of why, actually that's the female, why she's at the bottom like that. But she'll rush up to the top and strike my hand if I bug her. Yeah, see, she's wigging out now. And, oh, she just ate a snail. She just literally picked up a snail, snatched it out of the air, and then took off. Now, this is a female Machiensis. Look at the size difference. So here's a male. Oh, and now the female's gone. Where is she? Here. Right here. And she's eating all that infusoria, all those little white dots in there. Those are all little life forms. The male, oh, you are angry. I think he doesn't like the bright light, or she doesn't like the bright light. She just struck the glass. And you can actually hear a little noise when they hit the glass. They also don't like the fact that I've got vinyl up over their tank. They really seem to hate that, actually. So, I don't know. I've got a glass top, but I need to move them into a better tank. So, what's odd about this betta is how it just, like, swirls around in the substrate. So I want to get it some sand and some leaves, because it's always down in the substrate, like digging and making its imprint down there. It's very odd. I've never seen a betta act so much like an eel or a snakehead, like a chana or something. And then here is the male, and he's just doing his thing. But again, they have green water too, and that's in hopes of encouraging the babies. But we'll see. This one's not colored up at all, whereas in some of the other videos, the species spotlight, you can see them both colored up more. And then this is my scud tank, if you guys recall. So all up in here, this is every like piece of detritus from my other tanks, and there are just literally thousands of scuds in this tank. Vinegar eels in here. But let me show you guys. If we wake these guys up, watch, they'll come shimmering down like a... Look at that. Look at how many come out. Look at that. They come out like a fire hose of little amphipods. And all they are is my... they're just eating the junk out of the tank. Let's give some to this gal and see if she wants any. You want some of those? Yes. Let's see if the gudgeons want any. Of course they do. Empire gudgeons are pigs. Watch. Also, wow, look at how blue she is down there. Interesting. Alright, so I mentioned this during the other night, and that is that I actually feed flake food in between live food on a lot of my tanks, and that's because this is the color enhancing stuff. So it's full of carotenoids and vitamins. But look at this, the wild bettas, surprisingly enough, actually really like it. I think that's bizarre. I was not expecting that. I thought they wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but apparently they don't mind any foot pole. I even feed my scuds it so that they have the color enhancing stuff in their belly when I feed them. But yeah, they're all up at the top. If you want them to do really well, um, you want to aerate their tank more than I do. But mine's really more of a passive thing. Boy, look at the color. Just since we've been standing here, just coming out the purples and the blues. Um, so the other big thing going on in here, so these guys, after this test of just how can they do in water, I've been feeding them scuds every day. So they've been putting on a lot of weight. They were little when I got them, very little. I hate the way this looks. It pains me to look at. So then down here, I want to turn this into a Panda Loach refuge again. And in here, at the moment, we've got Hong's Loei Epistos and a lot of Cladophora type crap growing in here, like some sort of cyanobacteria or algae combo. And I just hate it. It's like Blackbeard and cyano and stuff combined, and it's because of this window. Even with the blinds closed, right here, it gets just blasted all the time. Whereas even the tank here is doing fine. We've got shrimp. We've got the beautiful. These are the ones I want to put outside. The yellow-finned white clouds. Look at that yellow long fin on the anal fin. So pretty. I mean, the males are just absolutely stunning. And when I got them at the store at Aquarium Co-op, they didn't look that good. I mean, they looked okay. They looked kind of like the one right here, this female. But then I got them home and I put them in this water that is slightly acidic. It's got a little bit of minerality, but it's still acidic. And I've been feeding them live scuds, and they're just electric. I mean, they're just electric, great looking fish. Now, the other thing is, I took all my fish out of here. I took them to the auction, and I've just been waiting with the tank, slowly draining down. And that's because I thought, well, maybe there's something in there. And you know what? I'm glad I did, because there are about 6 Synodontis, Petricola synodontis in here. The filter hasn't been running since December. And they're in here, and they hatched in here, and they're doing fine. The heater's still in there. And the plants are still in there. But I haven't even done a top off. So the water's getting harder, and I don't think they care. I mean, they're from harder water anyways. But I just thought I'd make note of that, because a lot of times people say things like you can't do this or that, and you can do a lot of things as long as the basics are there and the ammonia hasn't spiked or anything. But again, I see eggs on this little one, egg on her face. And over here, we've got all the rice fish. Stupid glare. These are all the little rice fish that were babies a few months ago when I got them at the auction. And now they're all grown up. I'm going to have to send them away to college. And I'm going to have an empty nest. Also, there's a dojo loach in here who goes ballistic from time to time. And he is time to go outside. My dojo loaches that are outside also have already spawned. And they've got a bunch of little noodle babies this size that I can never, ever catch. I don't think I'll be able to catch them until they're 2 inches long. It is inspiring yet infuriating. So, wanted to also show you guys, if you missed it. Oh, do we have a $5 super chat? How did I miss that? Thank you so much, Sky Blue. How big should my green neon rasbora fry be before I let them out with their parents? You have 50 fry, 1 month old. That is awesome. Congratulations. That is killer. I mean, that's work. I had some up in here. Let me turn the light up. It's pretty low right now. Let's see if they're coming out at all. My Pethia Galathea, the little They're called gold clown barbs. I hate clown being in the name of anything, so no, they're gonna be 5-stripe gold barbs. And yeah, they're doing good. They're doing their thing, which yay. But I would say you want to make sure that they're at least half the length of their parents. Their parents are sneaky. Their parents will eat them pretty late in life, I have to say. They will. Now, up in here, I got some new botanicals I'm playing with, some fiddlehead ferns, and I put them up in with my my lamias. So my little humpback lamias are over here. My lamia tridents are in here, and the baby gourami, or baby, sorry, the baby gouramis over in this plain Jane tank. You can see a few of them. And then the other babies, let's bug them. Let's harass them, guys. Sorry, I know I'm probably making y'all dizzy, but let's harass them so we can see what they're up to. John, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. 99 cents. I appreciate it. Zoltan, still waiting for your botanicals to arrive. Yeah, I mentioned that at the beginning of the stream. They have had all sorts of issues going on over at Aquatic Arts with their money processing system, and it's screwed up the other parts of things, I think, too, because usually I get paid on the first if I do any like freelancing or anything for them, and like that card at the beginning with the graphic designs and stuff, or anything like that, and it's, let's just say it's later than the first, ladies and gentlemen. But I have to be understanding because their GM, his hands are kind of tied. So some of these little guys are staying absolutely minuscule. So some of them are tiny. Yet let's pull out let's move aside some stuff and see if we can find the larger two. There's two females in here that are like almost an inch long, and they keep eating their siblings, and I probably should have taken them out, but I just wanted to see how they grow up together. Experiment, so I can tell people not to do that for sure, because it's not common sense sometimes. We think that it's common sense when we're told, like, oh yeah, you can't keep bettas together. But then I keep the adults together, especially when they're related, and everything turns out fine. Sometimes it works out with the babies too. Oh, here we go. Here's the big female and the other medium-sized female. And those are a mix, believe it or not, of Rasbo and his gal, who's probably back in the corner over there. So they don't look anything like their babies yet, but we'll see. There's still time. So I wanted to show you guys too the other. This is the Aquatic Arts shrimp pack for the Neocaradinas, and I mean, they're flourishing. They're doing super well. I already took 25 adults out. And we've got pregnant females. I mean, there's shrimp all over the place in this tank. Up there, back in there, all over, up at the top. I mean, I think there's about 40 shrimp in a 2.5 gallon tank, no filter. So I wanted to prove that you guys can do this. It just takes some planning. So there's a video on what planning that needs to be. Right now, it's not pretty looking. It's not aquascape like it was originally, because when I was chasing them around, also when I put when the Hydra showed up, as often they do. Oh, look at, she's juggling her babies under her belly. If you can see the one in the back there, they sometimes they just don't. The Hydra and stuff will appear, and they can sting your fish and stress them out quite a bit. And so what I do is I get the baby the baby, here we go, here's another one of the females. So they're pretty, these ones, but they look nothing like the Nemo galaxies that their parents are. And at this age, the trick is you can actually see their oviducts on either side of their shoulder. So they've got a little bit of a bulge. And if you shine a heavy duty LED light, or even your phone light if it's strong, right here, you can actually make out little yellow egg sacs on either side straddling their shoulder and into their belly when they're young like this. And you can sex them that way. And that's how I've always sexed my bettas, because every type of betta is going to have a different expression of what the males and females kind of look like as they get older. And it always confuses me, to be frank. Now, I need to catch these guys and put them outside. And I pardon all the water stains on everything. Also, the Lucanusi or Lucanzi, these guys are doing really well. They're very colorful and everything. They still haven't had babies, and they have an incredible cave I built them back there that like loops all the way around and all that. Jose Torres, thank you so very much for the super chat, buddy. These are the thick-lip gouramis that were over in the lake inlay tank, and they're a little boisterous. So I figured in a 25-gallon with like CPDs and little Danios that I wanted to move them. So I moved them. I got them away from them, and really now they can deal with the phantom tetras and the serpe tetras and the Colombian purple tetra back here, which is always electric blue. So don't ask me why it's named that. But yeah, this tank is doing well, and it's got the West African cichlids in it. The opistos are probably going to get moved over here when I pull these barbs out. And then over here, in case you missed it the other night, I will be opening up sales again very shortly for my blue Malawa shrimp. Now, I've got half-beaks living in here, and these are the newest of the half-beak species discovered. These are the forest half-beaks, or the tanga. I think that's how you say it, Tanaga or tanga, half-beaks from Borneo. And they kind of have an electric line down there. Man, they're fast. An electric line down their side. And they're so skinny, so weird looking. Such a strange live bearer. And I'm hoping they have babies in here. I mean, look at it. I feel like this should be quality habitat. We've also got the clown killies or rocket killies in here. There's a few males and a few females. So basically, top living fish with very small mouths are what's living with my colony of blue Malawas. And there are some Corridoras in here too. But here is one of the blue hybrids that's got babies. Let's get some more blues in sight, because some of them, I mean, especially the other night at like 4 in the morning, man, they were lit up like a Christmas tree. It was so pretty to see all the blues on the other live stream the other night. But basically, I give them an area that is full of mulm and undisturbed, just so that the quarries and just so that they're not stressed. They feel like they have an escape route that they can get to and everything. And it's this colony has been throwing a few reds, but not a ton. And a few of what I'm calling yellows, because they're kind of a golden color, and then they've got some blue to them also. And then this is a red morph. Sorry guys, let me get focused here. This is a red female. She's just the lowest grade red that I would have, so she needs to be cold. And actually, I need to pull her out while her babies are in her. But she's part of the shrimp that were crossed with the Weberi or the nebula, and that's where the white stripes, and you can see the armor transitions and stuff. That's where that comes from, is from the gene from the Weberi. And then over here, we'll see if we can coax out some more blue Malawas. It's kind of daytime, so they don't particularly love coming out. Like that's this is a native colored one right here. And so is this one. And so I'm still getting maybe 10 to 15% native colors, but they all carry that gene. And when I've been selling them, the few that I've sold, I've made sure that they're all going to be the blue dominant gene, which, I mean, it's dual recessive is what it is, but they're in here and they're living underneath. So are the reds, like that red that we saw. Here's a better red right here. If we can get a light on him. That's a better red. You can make out the color as they move a little bit more. But they don't seem scared of the half beaks at all, which is good. They seem to be still hanging out up high in the water, which is good. Because I was a little worried that they wouldn't. That they would be scared of the half beaks and hide and get stressed and maybe not reproduce. But they're still having babies. So 9 years in the works. What am I doing this for? I don't know. Who knows? Just to have a sky blue Caradina that does good in most water conditions. I mean, these things survive in everything from like very tannic water with like, as long as the pH is over 6, they'll survive, and up to 8.2 or 3 they'll survive. So they're just such a sturdy shrimp. Yeah, if you're talking about the long fin, also this guy, this is the Malungu. I kind of want to get rid of them. As much as I'm holding them for Lawrence Kent and he wants me to keep them, they just make such a mess. All of the water lettuce that's in their tank, they come and they rip up it and they eat it. To raise your KH and pH, just add crushed coral. Just get a bag of crushed coral. I got this one at Aquarium Co-op. It's overpriced, just like it is anywhere you buy crushed coral, except maybe like the driveway supply store or something. And just add a little bit. I usually add half a cup or half a pound-ish, kind of comes out to the same thing, to most of my tanks, just to buffer them. And that's when I have substrate that's not already buffered. If I have gravel, they're going to get that, if not more. But I have soft water, so if you don't have soft water, then you may not need to do that. Like this tank over here, there's almost no crushed coral in this tank because these are all very, very... Boy, look at the color on that, on her. And she's still got the 2 eggs on her mouth. Versus the male. But yeah, these are all soft water, highly oxygenated water fish, so they don't get the coral. But like over here, the white cloud minnows, mountain minnows, these yellow ones that we were looking at, they have crushed coral. Wait till the main male, like the biggest male in the group here. This guy, look at, he's got white, he's got yellow. I mean, I've never seen such a quality specimen as this guy. And it wasn't apparent at the fish store. I had to get him home and get him into a tank with the right settings, so to speak, to see just how exaggerated the fins were. They're not hindering movement at all, and that's where I draw the line of like, no, I don't need a fish to look pretty just because, and it can't move right. But yeah, I mean, they're really shy though for some reason, which is odd because they're clearly very domesticated line of these things. Some of them are still not quite showing all their color and stuff yet, but I mean, just look at the length of those fins, and in particular the ones like this guy here that just keeps hiding. The yellow is insane. It's like a fireworks show. So I'm really excited that those are around. I'm just scared that I'm gonna lose them if I put them the out into the tubs. I'm just scared. Now the other thing, this tank is gonna get a big old trim, and this was kind of an experiment to see, could we grow while I was away? Could we get the babies to survive in a tank replicating something like a Southeast Asian rice paddy or marsh, like a flooded field? And if you were watching last night, you got to see a glimpse of the baby gouramis that are now approaching half an inch. They're doing really well. And I was kind of shocked when I saw how big they had gotten. Because I have not been feeding them any of the micro food. Sorry, guys, I know I'm kind of zoomed in and annoying. This is the one-eyed, spastic, kind of crazy Daniel Chopra that's always in the corner, too. But this corner, interestingly enough, where the babies hang out, it is noticeably colder. In fact, maybe I'll take a temperature reading. And look at how dense all these plants are. I mean, it's really, really dense. And this is where we'll try to maybe shake some of these baby gouramis out of here, because they pretend to be the leaf debris that's in here. And meanwhile, this stuff can break down into ammonia. It can turn into mulm. I mean, there's a couple of ways things can unfold. So you kind of have to watch it when you've got this much biomass growing like this. We've also got a lot of roots sucking out a ton of energy. But at night, the little gouramis all come out, and so do some of these babies, tinwinnies, which are the gold ring danios. So I've been having just fun with that, and I was a little shocked that the gouramis were doing so well with without being fed. That's just whatever's in the tank. I'll probably post a short of it soon, like maybe tonight, because I've been feeding the adults the extreme sinking. Oh no! That was almost a catastrophe. That was an Alex catastrophe. Wow. Well, good thing for that light. Holy smokes. Um, yeah. So, let's see here. Guys, this is why my life's so hard, because I do dumb things like this. Hold on. So I'm gonna scoot the light forward, and we're gonna try to well, I'm gonna set you guys down for a sec. All right. So we got a good amount of it off of the light. That almost just flooded that tank with food. And that would not have been easy to get out of this tank. But the stuff that did fall in, not bad. It's actually about the right amount to feed the fish that are in here. So, that's good. But we're going to take we're going to let all that stuff dry, the lid and everything. Boy, that was a dumb move. We're going to just feed these guys. The piggies. All around there's little piggies with their piggy. Okay, here's the Lucanusi. We're going to be really slow. The female has beautiful color right now. Oh, she's gone. I'll get a picture of her tonight. She's got beautiful color right now. Blue and lavender and all sorts of colors showing. But anyways, so the long short of it is that this all of this stuff's going back outside. Same with the little shrimp tubs that are the shrimp that overwintered 2 years ago. Same with the Medaka rice fish. Same with this tank here. Probably the white cloud tank too. And then we're gonna clean out the experiment tank once I'm sufficiently happy with the results, or satisfied that I'm not gonna achieve anything better or worse, or that I understand what's going on. Let's put it that way. And then, yeah. So, yes, the food is already in there, Bill Meyer. In that tank right behind me here. That tank is so overgrown. It will be getting chopped too. That Lindernia is a plant that I just adore. And I always, once I touch the fish food, because I have a shellfish allergy, I always try to wash my hands. But you guys, I also wanted to warn that this phone had about an hour charge left on it. And it's been an hour. So unfortunately, our time is near an end, friends. But over here, these guys have been surviving completely. I feed them every 2 weeks the same amount of food, which is a pinch of the sinking extreme flakes. And then they have shrimp living in there. And then they have some snails. They have scuds. They have isopods. And they have a few other things in there too, like seed shrimp type things. But they're ready to go back outside. These are the ones that were born outside in my pond last season, last year. And so those guys are going back out. We've got a whole gaggle of things that are going to go back out into the tubs. Plus then that tank that looks horrendous, that is down at the bottom shelf, that will be, where did I put my shoes? I wanted to end this to see if we could get a shot of those sticklebacks, because if Dr. Anthony's still here, Dr. Anthony loves his sticklebacks, and I like to show off that I have them all and he has none. Yeah, the cricket enhanced food, the bloodworms. I've got some issues with some of those shellfish things. But basically, I need to do a big reset on a lot of these tanks. So when I get my jaw surgery down in Florida, that's going to be May 2nd. And hopefully, you know, because of you guys and because of my family and my incredible wife, I have the money for it. Was 15 grand to just get my lower teeth back in line, and the jaw surgery. They're gonna have to actually like break my jawbone and put 10 posts in, and that's happening May 2nd. Hopefully they're gonna wire it so that I can be alert and awake and still stream and talk. Like, it's not the whole like thing. It's a little less barbaric than that, but not a lot. It's still supposed to hurt a lot, and I'll probably be a little bit dopey. I'm not going to deny the pain meds this round, probably. All right, let's try to sneak up on them. Nope, now it's too dark. We can't see them. Gosh darn it. Well, Dr. Mazeral, if you're still here, the moral of the story, we caught some at the beginning of the stream. The moral of the story is there's over 40 sticklebacks in that tub. Of all the tubs, I mean, these ones look way better. They've got better leaves. They got better microfauna. This one looks like a freaking Island of the Lost Toys, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer reject tub. And it's just like bulged out from freaking water, from the rain. Here's that stone I got up in the Cascades. The Oso Jade is what it's called, or Jadeite. I want to do another big aquascape this summer or spring, late spring, early summer. We're going to do the aquascaping contest. Yeah, so we got a lot of fun stuff planned. Also, I'm going to Florida, like I said, but I planned in a week early before the tooth thing. One, to make sure that I don't get any sort of like COVID or whatever, like while I'm waiting or while I flew, because I got sick last time I flew. And because you really can't have, you don't want to be coughing when you've got 10 bolts in your jaw and it wired. And a sinus patch, I think they're doing too. So I'm gonna go hang out though for 8 days before that, and so I want to hear it from you guys what you would like me to go do. If you'd like me to go, I'm trying to go to some of the universities and interview some of the professors at the Florida, Southern Florida University, or University of Southern Florida, and the Florida State University. I've got a couple contacts, so hopefully we'll do that. Ryan Kinney, who is the wild fish tank collector, he's got a channel, and he's a really nice guy, and so I want to go collecting with him if I can. And then also, right, Sage, I am so incredibly on board with what you're saying about that. The fact that 55, it should either have sticklebacks in it, and I offered to build a nice pine or cedar like bench, or like a stand for it with a bench built in, and then it would go against the side of the house, get the warmth of the sun in the summer, and we can run aerators if we need to if it gets too hot. But they're tough fish. And then sticklebacks would be fun with sand to watch them do their thing. Or the pumpkin seed fish is the other one. Maybe bluegill, but pumpkin seed fish would be super fun too. So, I don't know. I miss woodworking and doing all that kind of crafty building stuff that I haven't had time to do lately. Or space necessarily. Or money. Okay, I guess I don't really have most of the things you need for it. But I can. I'm going to make it a priority at some point soon. But you guys, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out, and just wanted to give an update on the fish room. Yeah, it's a dirty mess. Yeah, I should have used a gimbal or something, but the internet quality has been so bad I didn't want to add another Bluetooth thing to the mix. But thank you guys for spending some time with me tonight, and I know Bentley Pasco's streaming. If you want to hop to his stream, he got the boot at work, unfortunately, not long ago. They laid a whole bunch of people off because that's how Seattle rolls, with like half the city gets laid off every 6 months. They land on their feet, though. It's tech. They all get paid like, stupid amounts of money, like $250,000 a year or whatever. So I don't feel that bad for them. No, I shouldn't say that. They don't all get paid that, but a lot of them do. And it's the people that work at the Amazon reception centers that I feel bad for. They get like $15 an hour, the delivery drivers and stuff. But anyways, if you go over to Bentley's stream, hashtag Alex made me do it. If you want to support our raid on his stream, I'll hop over there and watch that too. Have a wonderful night, you guys. It's good to see everybody, and thank you so much for the super chats, for the questions, for hanging out, and just being my friends, guys. So stay tuned for more content. I'll be dropping more content this week, and I just posted the video of us collecting those Iliosomas in the other room, or at least half of them. Some came from Ryan too. And we also have plans. As long as I can get a truck I can spend the night in, I will have a ride up to Lucas Brett's house, and then I can stay with him in northern Florida, kind of up almost to the Georgia border. But I also have plans to go on a fan boat ride for the channel with a national park, Everglades National Park ranger, who's a fish and wildlife guy who lives at the park. that's a friend of a friend of a friend. So don't know how solid that is, but I'm really trying to come up with some fun content for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let me know what you like, what you don't like. You can be honest. I know you probably don't like shaky, jittery videos when the internet sucks, like today. But we'll set it up through StreamYard next time. I just wanted to try to walk around the fish room this time and show the sticklebacks, but that all failed. So, all right, guys, have a good one. Alex made me do it. Hashtag over at Bentley Pasco's stream if you're interested in hanging out over there. Have a great one. Take care of yourself, your fish, and the people around you, because if you don't take care of yourself and the people around you, well, what good are fish? You know, really. So, all right, guys, take care. Bye.